XRP has seen a bit of a push to the upside since late afternoon yesterday, jumping up by over 4%. But we are hitting resistances, and it looks like this might be a short-lived move before we see more volatility to the downside. In today's video, I am going to be taking a look at the technical analysis on XRP, reviewing my thoughts and opinions as to where I think the price action is going on the hourly and daily charts, giving you my short and medium-term views on XRP. As I get into the video, smash that like button if you're new, subscribe, and let's take a look at the charts of what's going on here with XRP. So here we have XRP paired up with USDT. We're on the 1 hour Binance chart here. And so you can see we had this move to the downside. This is kind of in line with those expectations we've had over the last couple of days or so. You can see that we were hoping to push up a little bit more, but we got rejected here pretty hard on the 50 SMA and the 50 simple moving average you see in here. We came right down into that typical range, so nothing terribly too unusual, basically 54.33 to 54.96. We wicked right in here and got an immediate reversal. So great trading opportunities had anyone been aware of what was going on. I was a bit busy yesterday. I missed this one, but this would have been a great opportunity to kind of take a look at the market and start to short right in here. Stop loss just above the previous swing high. And of course, I like a 1.5 risk reward ratio, you guys. You know I'm not greedy, but this, if you had gone down into these low areas on a proper trade, and when I say proper trade, what I mean is if you actually taken a look at the market and you had kind of applied the kind of Elliott wave theory, typical kind of areas of retracement, then you could have been in for some really, really significant gains. In this particular example, here was a 5.67 risk reward ratio on the conservative side of that expectation with tight stop loss here. I mean, this would have been a phenomenal trade for anyone looking to trade the market. Okay, obviously from here we've reversed up, we have rallied and hit resistance again. As you can kind of see here, time and time again on XRP's price action, we're finding resistance on the 50 EMA, 50 SMAs, and again, we're not seeing any different changes here. Unfortunately, it's much of the same. So history tending to repeat itself a little bit on XRP's price action. Here we can take a look at the most recent candles just at the point of recording this video, which is at it's pretty much 4 a.m. UTC time. You can see here, this is a confirmed breakdown, right? We can see dojo candles right up here, close below the 50 SMA, a second candle closing also lower than the previous one, setting a lower low. This is where we're likely to see reversal. This was going to be probably within the next 6 minutes, the area of idea to short the market, stop loss higher than the previous swing high. And again, I'm just going to target out 1.5 personally. That's how I like to do this stuff. And of course, you know, you could still be looking for deeper retracements. This structure, though, in itself is going to be quite interesting. Because we're not looking at a massive retracement. I think we could potentially be looking somewhere in and around the previous pocket of support down here, coinciding with that 50 level on the retracement fib level. So 55.73 to 55.91, meaning that this 1.51 risk reward ratio here, the idea of going in on a short at around 56.5, stop loss at 56.86, take profit at 59.93, essentially being pretty much in line with kind of where you would expect this to kind of retrace to. So of course it could come down deeper, but this is going to be a really nice trade in my opinion. Great support to be found in this area. We might find a bounce and maybe there's an opportunity to short again and go down deeper after that. Of course, we'd analyze that a little bit further down the line. If I am to be trading, guys, anyone who's in the Discord server, specifically within our trading membership area, you'll know I'm going to be using 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓, which is my go-to platform, but I really do like a couple of other exchanges. So if you can't use 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 for whatever reason, maybe it's jurisdiction reasons, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 offers some great platform. It's no KYC, so there's no real restrictions there in terms of where you are around the world to use that one. If you do use the links in the description below, you're going to be eligible for sign-up bonuses and discounts and all that kind of usual stuff. So do check that out if you're interested. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is also a great platform for trading on as well. I've actually used it for coins that you can't really trade elsewhere, so that's a great one to have in your arsenal as well. Do check the links out in the description, guys. Sign up with those links, you'll get bonuses and discounts and all the kind of usual stuff, and it's always great to have access to as many of these exchanges as you possibly can. Obviously 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that doesn't is Blowfin. So if you are really wanting to make sure you're anonymous and you don't want to do KYC, Blowfin is your exchange. Check it out, linked in the description below. So that's the short idea. On the hourly chart, we will be looking for a move to the downside here, in my opinion. Our stochastics support this idea. Look at this, overbought on the hourly and 4-hourly charts. We are going to be looking for volatility to the downside, in my opinion, on the smaller time frames. So it doesn't necessarily carry over to the larger time frames, so we want to be a little bit mindful about that. But on this this chart here, it does look like we have a little bit more volatility here to be expected, but it's going to be short. I don't think this is going to come down deeper than the existing swing low that we've seen here at 54.63. I don't think we're going to drop down lower than that. I'm looking at this as potentially a now new 3-wave move to the upside. So retracement into this low and then rally up to the 200 EMA, where the 200 EMA I think will present itself with another shorting opportunity where we might then start thinking about deeper retracements on XRP's price action. But we are looking, and I'm going to put a video out later today talking about how historical patterns of XRP could play out on a macro scale, and specifically talking about September and whether September is going to be a bullish month for September or for XRP or not. So September is going to be a very interesting time, I think, for XRP. So definitely worth keeping an eye on that. So this is the idea at the minute. We can already see this is kind of playing out with this move to the downside. This candle is looking very strong for retracement. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But let's roll this up into a daily and see what the macro medium time frame is looking like. So we're still on track, in my opinion. I'm going to get rid of the fibs. They're getting annoying. We're still on track here for this move towards the 50 to 53 cent level. Okay, so we've been talking about this for weeks. This is where we're heading, in my opinion. It's a part of a bigger 3-wave correction. Even though we might get the occasional bounce to the upside, this is where I think we're going to actually end up probably by the end of September. Okay, so it's going to be a few weeks in the making. Yeah, it's still got some time to this one, but that's going to be where I think we're likely to kind of see XRP's price action move in a kind of more medium time frame. Although we can potentially see a bit of volatility to the upside. This is all a part of a bigger macro piece though. So if we are to see, a significant kind of push to the upside in the kind of coming days, we could see, another retest of some of these previous resistances, upwards of 10, 15% or so. But it's not going to really be a breakout situation that we need to get us to the 75 to 85 cents. I think that's potentially going to happen after we retrace down towards 50 cents. Of course, we have to hold these areas, and we cannot, in my opinion, lose the existing swing low down here at 38.23 if we want that structure to kind of be valid. In an ideal world, we really don't want to lose the previous wick low that we saw here at 43.13 either. We wouldn't hold that as well if we want to kind of see 75 to 85 cents, which is the medium time prediction. Something probably by the end of the year that I'm going to be looking for is going to be 75 to 85 cents. But we have to hold these key areas first. We don't have to hold specifically 43.19, but it would be nice to hold that one. The one that we must hold categorically is 38.23. So, for this pattern to play out, that's kind of what we're looking for. Nothing much has really changed, right? Because we've been talking about this move towards the 50 to 53 cents, and that's kind of still on the table. That's kind of still what we're looking for. We're not doing anything terribly too unusual with all the price action that we see on the smaller time frames. It's kind of just generally gradually working our way towards our target. We might bump up a little bit because I do think that is highly probable before we get to the 50 cents. We might see that 10, 15%, but ultimately we are still looking for 50 cents. Okay, that's going to be a really interesting point. If I do pull this across here, you can see how this was previous resistance as well. And if I took this across, you can see the consolidation that happened in this range as well. So this particular area is really interesting. Not only is it our Fibonacci retracement area for the price action, but it's also previous resistance. So turning it into support will be key for XRP's price action for that next run to the upside. We also see that we're in this continuation pattern, this wedge pattern, right? Not an ascending wedge, but a wedge pattern here for XRP. And this is going to be also an indication of a break to the upside. Basically, a continuation pattern is kind of a sideways ranging market that we've been stuck in for a while, and essentially it's going to continue whatever led into it, which was a push to the upside. So we push back to the upside when we finish it. Again, another reason why 75 to 85 cents is highly probable in that kind of bigger kind of multi-month kind of landscape. Okay, so for XRP's price action, I guess the message that I've been talking about for a while hasn't really changed. Essentially, expect the unexpected, expect us to find more volatility in the market, expect more liquidity to be continuously extracted disconnected from the market, and we can trade that and we can make lots of gains whilst we trade the smaller timeframes, waiting for those bigger breaks to actually emerge. If we don't want to be trading small timeframes, we want to be dollar cost averaging, those medium timeframes are showing you great areas of accumulation. And again, we can already know that we can see there's ideas and ways that we can kind of progress up towards 75 to 85 cents, right? And there's no guarantee that those are going to be the limits either. We might break out significantly further than that, but those are the expectations on the current structures that we see. So for the most part, XRP is pretty much doing everything that we've kind of been talking about. The volatility is great for trading. We can trade that on 𝗕𝗃, 𝗕𝗏𝗃, 𝗕𝗓𝒏, OKX, Bybit, whatever, right? And we can make significant gains on those smaller timeframes, whilst also simultaneously building out a separate HODL portfolio during those moments of deep volatility on the daily and weekly timeframes, where we can dollar cost average and build out those positions. These are all the things that we talk about pretty much on a day-by-day basis, so hopefully none of this is new unless you are new to the channel, and in which case you should probably subscribe and stay up to date with all the content that we do here. And I'm going to put a video out later talking about some of those historical patterns for September, so do watch out for that one. If you found this video useful, helpful, and informative, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, check out my second channel where I go through the Cardano technical analysis just up here. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.